A France 24 source reveals photographic evidence of the Russian mercenaries of Wagner, hired by the junta. For more, we turn to France 24 senior correspondent Cyril Payen. Cyril, tell us about these images we're seeing.
Well, it looks like they are very much another proof of the presence of these mercenaries from Wagner. So what is extremely distinctive and very new and quite exclusive, as you said, because it will be the first pictures of these paramilitaries. So they will be a part of a larger contingent, which is spreading all around this area. This is very much the first pictures we do have. We have the location, and we can see from people who know about the military outfit, for instance, that there is no sign of anything regarding Russia. We don't have any other white Westerner military in this area, no MINUSMA, no Barkhane. So they are Russians, and there is no flags, nothing whatsoever. For people who are just getting used to this kind of paramilitary forces, it's very clear that we're talking about Wagner there.
So in this video, I'm going to explain to you all that is happening in Niger, okay, all that you need to know so far. So as you heard from the media, French 24, who acknowledges that there is a Wagner presence in Niger, and the Wagner are from Russia. Now, let's go and listen to the Wagner boss, who speaks about the activities of France in Niger. And then after that, I will explain to you all the developments, everything are happening in Niger and even some other francophone countries.
Wagner Boss Prigozhin says $1 billion of revenue looting from Niger. And Niger only gets $11 billion. Wow.
Например, французская компания, которая добывала уран, она продавала его по $218, а Нигеру платила по $11. Можно работать с инвесторами 50/50, 30/70, но невозможно отдавать коренным жителям страны, которые родились в этой стране, которые живут в этой стране, и которые рассчитывают на то, что недра этой стране принадлежат им, и они принадлежат им по Конституции, платить всего 5% с тех богатств, которые вы получаете. Для того, чтобы скрыть эти экономические преступления, страна насыщалась огромным количеством террористов. Это огромное количество террористов теоретически должно было контролироваться огромным количеством различных войск, которые финансировались Организацией Объединенных Наций, Евросоюза, американцами, англичанами и кем только не финансировалось. И поэтому население Нигера, которое должно было быть свободно, которое должно было быть счастливо за счет тех экономических возможностей, которые находятся на территории их страны, это население обворовывалось, и для того, чтобы оно молчало, их держали долгие десятилетия в страхе, но для того, чтобы показать, что эти воры, эти расхитители нужны на территории государства, я имею в виду западные страны, Францию, Америку и так далее, для этого туда загонялись толпы военных, которые ничего не делали и получали колоссальные бюджеты, которые также разворовывались на различных уровнях. И поэтому преобразования в Нигере, они просто были необходимы. Власть, которая была вместе с Базумом и его приспешниками, она просто крышевала, давала возможность разворовывающим народ коалиции находиться на территории Нигера. Собственно говоря, вот и все. Поэтому это борьба освободительное движение за независимость этой страны. И дай Бог им здоровья, и чтобы у них все...
So, you heard the Wagner boss talking about the French activity in Niger. Now, it is not only in Niger, and what he talked about is across all of the Francophone countries. Now, let me use the Nigerian example all right, to explain the issue of course happening in the francophone countries today. Now, on the 26th of July, there was a coup in Niger, whereby the presidential guard forced the president, or they arrested, of course, the president, of course, normally called a palace coup. So nobody was hurt in the process. Of course, the president of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum, was put under house arrest, and he is still under house arrest even today by his own, of course, presidential guard. And they have prevented people from visiting him. Just today, the US sent a diplomat to go and have a chit chat with him. The junta, or the military junta, did not allow that to happen. So on 30th, 4 days later, ECOWAS issued a decree that they were giving the military junta in Niger just 1 week to bring back the president, or to reinstall the president. But that did not happen, and the 1 week, I think, was on Sunday. The last day for that 1 week was on Sunday. Now, the military junta in Niger then decided to invite these of course Wagners from Russia to come and safeguard them, or to help them should in case ECOWAS invade their country. And even Burkina Faso and Mali, which have also had coup, also decided to also help Niger should in case of any ECOWAS invasion. And it's quite sad in a way, but to me personally, as a Pan-Africanist, I'm very much happy about the development taking place in the francophone countries. You see, if you have watched carefully, the coups are happening in only the francophone countries. We had Burkina Faso, we had Mali, and even Chad, and also now we have Niger. Now all these countries share borders. When you look at the map, you realize that all these countries that I have mentioned, they all share borders. And all these coups are not for anything. It is because the people are fed up. Let me give you the historical background to this. Before France gave independence to all her former colonies, the colonies were made to sign a pact called the colonial pact. Now, that pact was to continue colonization even after independence was given to these countries. So the colonial pact was in such a way that some of the agreement was that, yes, we want to give you independence. However, all your resources, you must sell them to France first. So France, of course, France is the only country that has access to buy your resources, and they can buy it at any price. Any price that they so want. Now, again, they were also to pay rent for some of their colonial infrastructures. You will pay rent to them. And for instance, Cote d'Ivoire was paying rent. The Parliament House, of course, that was built for Cote d'Ivoire. The people, or the people in Cote d'Ivoire, or the government, was paying rent for that parliament. And that is when this president, Laurent Gbagbo, decided not to pay, and he was targeted. Okay, again, all your national reserves were supposed to be kept in the French, National Bank. So 85% of your reserves, all the francophone countries, they have 85% of their reserves in the francophone bank, and these reserves are controlled by the French Minister of Finance. If you needed some, you need to go and take it as a loan, your own money. These raw materials are bought at a very cheaper prices. Niger is Africa's #1 producer of uranium. And uranium is used in the making of these electric cars like battery, and now that electric cars are going, are coming up, the demand for uranium is going to be high, even electricity and all of that. But I bet to tell you that the very thing that we use to generate electricity, if you go to Niger, ECOWAS export or gives them electricity. Meanwhile, the French every day now and then mine uranium from these people, and they give them nothing in return. This is even cars that you import. All the francophone countries, they have signed that they will import cars only from, of course, the French. All major contracts in the country are undertaken by a French company. So you dare not give a major contract to somebody else. So you can imagine if you are in such a country and you have people who have been to school, who are engineers and all of that. Major infrastructure, of course, projects are to be done by francophone countries. So in essence, it looks like all the francophone countries are living for France. Yes. And France is just gaining. Now, what they do is that in order for the French to, of course, continue with what they were doing, or to get, of course, these things that I've talked about, they normally will install or will put into these, of course, francophone countries, puppet governments. Governments that will, be ready to accept whatever that the French will tell them to do. And that is why in Burkina Faso, when there was a coup, and of course Thomas Sankara came, now the French supported Blaise Compaoré to overthrow, of course, Thomas Sankara. And Thomas Sankara was a Pan-Africanist, strong Pan-Africanist, who did not, he was an anti-colonialist. Of course, Blaise Compaoré overthrew Sankara, and he ruled. Nobody said anything. The French did not say anything because he was giving or paying heed to the French interest, until the people of Burkina Faso, did an uprising. Then, of course, he had to be overthrown. And that is what is happening. And see, I bet not to. This thing is going to go on in all the francophone countries. This is not the last coup. You see, ECOWAS, this attitude of I'm sending military, even where are the soldiers for you to even send to go and fight these people? ECOWAS is just backed by the French to do all the things that they are doing. So the people are fed up. You see, look at the streets of Niger. When after the date expired, the ECOWAS invasion date expired, look at how the people were happy, hailing the president, of course, hailing the military leader, that yes, we have gotten our independence from, of course, French. So this is basically, of course, this is what is happening. And now the issue is bringing in, of course, different fashions. Now, of course, European Union is involved. Now, of course, French is involved, and ECOWAS, and these people are backing the president. Now we have Burkina Faso, we have Mali, and then also we have Russia also backing the military junta in Niger. And in the coming days, it's going to be very interesting. The development that is going to take place is going to be very, very interesting. But to me, the only thing I can say is that most of the time these things have not worked. Because like I've given you some examples. It happened in Libya when Muammar Gaddafi overthrew King Idris in somewhere in the 1960s, and sacked, was anti-colonial. At the end, of course, what happened to him? He was killed, and now Libya is back to square one. Of course, Thomas Sankara, after a coup, of course, bringing in whatever, of course, Thomas Sankara at the end of the day, of course, was killed, and the French installed another puppet. So my fear is that these things do not continue. You see, this military junta, they will come. Fine. Now, you know, this military junta in Niger, they have banned, what do you call it? The RFI and even, of course, France 24. They have banned all their media. They have cut every tie with French. But my fear is that, you know, of course, France will come back. Yes, of course, they will come back, but they will not come back, of course, physically. They will use some people, especially the ECOWAS, to do that. And that is going to be hurtful. And I'll be very hurt if I see ECOWAS amassing troops to go and fight Niger, our already, you know, war-torn continent, and ECOWAS is spearheading that. So let's hear your view in the comment section. What you think about this development personally. It's going to be very interesting. You know, the coming weeks is going to be very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Okay. So you share your view in the comment section. Do you think ECOWAS can really do something? No. And all of that. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel.